champions. The players are much different now. And I think the big question here is what ban does Team Liquid drop, or do they let Echo through once again? Their bans last game were Gangplank, Graves, and Soraka. Or do they let Darshan play Echo again?
Well, they either let him play Echo or Graves at this point.
Yep, I think you gotta let him play Graves.
Yeah.
The Echo does get banned out. Relief from the crowd as well. Yeah. Nobody wants to see him causing havoc.
Because we also don't know if he'll play Graves. This is one of those things where if you ban the same thing the entire series, sometimes it's good to switch it up towards the end. They found tremendous success from the last set when they dropped the Trist ban, but now they don't even do it. See, that's why you get the value ban. Now it's a denial pick attempt.
Exactly. So he takes it away because he's thinking Lourlo is not going to play Graves, so it doesn't matter either way.
I think this is fine. I think Lourlo will play Maokai.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a very good result. Wow. For Team Liquid for that ban to be dropped. The only tweak is if they flex that Poppy to the jungle or to the support.
Yeah.
Because while that's not the primary position for Poppy, Xmithie has played a Poppy jungle game, and we did see some support Poppy at the start of the split.
And look at this discussion it puts between Dardoch, Lourlo, and Loco Doco just behind him here. It seems like they have actually sorted it out in the end. Bard, Nautilus. They have lockup for a fight, that's for damn sure, but what else can they bring to the table? And that shows quite a bit to CLG here. They say, okay, Team Liquid wants to fight.
Well, it's game 5. You have to pull out your best, your comfort right now for these guys and be able to start these fights. We haven't seen a lot of engage in this series except for that last game with the Bard, and Matt pulled it off perfectly. He's going to try to do it again.
Yeah, the Nautilus is the one that surprises me the most. He has fallen really far out of the meta after those nerfs to his Riptide. He lost 25 damage at max rank on his Riptide, and that's not just 25 damage because it has multiple rings of damage, so you're losing like 40 to 60 damage on a really low cooldown a lot of the time. The maximum damage is actually dropped by 50, so it is a very nerfed Nautilus against what is not yet a heavily nerfed Poppy.
Right.
Yeah. And it's honestly just base damages at that point. He's still just as tanky as he was before. He's still rather oppressive, and against Poppy, he isn't always the best champion to pick. Poppy's percent HP from the Q is going to be good and also can stop the anchor from allowing him to escape.
Yep. They kind of keep the whole factor in that they can stop a fight or get the fight in their favor with a tempered fade or something like a Poppy hammer. It's not that side though this time. And Kindred, Morgana, locked in on the other side.
Yeah, this gives us some more playmaking for CLG. Aphromoo Morg, throughout the years, has always been a massive playmaker for the team. The Black Shield is also really good. It's like the one thing that saves you from Bard ultimate, pretty much, because you can actually deny the stasis effect if you have a Black Shield on someone.
Right. Team Liquid saying, let's try to get the same exact comp. To go.
Yeah, it is rather close, but of course they can't get the Echo being on red side.
Yeah.
That may have been their ideal composition because Team Liquid, they had their backs against the wall. They lose a game, they're out of playoffs, and they have to play for that 3rd, 4th. They can't actually go after the championship.
Nobody wants that,
so,
right?
So they pulled out pretty
not
much
the fans.
The stuff that they wanted to play and thought that this is their trump card, and they're going to just try to do it again so they don't end up in that 3rd place for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah. Well, they've got to put up a good fight here. CounterLogic Gaming is the defending champions for a reason, even playing to such a high caliber with a changed-up roster coming into this split. We'll see what the final picks are for CounterLogic Gaming coming into Game 5. They have 4 seconds to lock them in, and they show their hand. Ryze and Lucian are the final picks.
Yeah, it's a denial pick for the Lucian to keep it away from Piglet a little bit, I think, for sure. And games like this is where a lot of poise comes into play. What is your absolute best champion? Piglet's wanted to play Lucian into pretty much any matchup. Well, he can't now. The question will be, does he go to Caitlyn? Does he go to Kalista?
Does he go to Vayne?
What does he do?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that he could play into this, but I think Sivir, Caitlyn are the 2 that come to mind right off the bat. If he does want to enable Matt even more,
I think Caitlyn would be a great pick here. It was the Karma Caitlyn synergy he had first game. They know that well. They know the range well. Piglet has beautiful positioning in these fights. And it is like TL to leave that counter pick up to him. The Caitlyn will be the lock-in. He has a Nautilus on the front line. It's going to be hard to keep this Piglet safe, but hopefully they can do.
Well, AD carry safety has been paramount in this series, especially when you're looking at going against a Ryze who needs to close into room prison distance to really get into you. The Caitlyn is going to be the safest from that, and both times an AD carry has had Caitlyn in the series, it has dominated, so I cannot disagree with that choice. And it's a little bit strange normally to have your AD carry pick saved for the very final pick of the series, but for these guys, it makes sense because Piglet is such a carry for this team.
Exactly, and you want to give him a large advantage over Stixxay and try to give him a counter matchup here. And when I'm looking at these compositions, it's once again CLG, low wave clear, a lot of pick potential though. The Morgana for Aphromoo, he's 3-1 in this split, only losing to TSM, and he's all about that roaming, all about that pick.
Yeah, the evolution of the champ selects in this series. Game 1, both teams, very poor initiation, great disengage. We just keep getting heavier and heavier into the initiation and into fighting. So this series is trending in the right direction to me.
As you stop getting less scared, you're like, okay, we felt them out. It's like, oh, we got to go. We're playing for more. Game 1, kind of test the water, then dive right in right now.
It's going to be amazing. One last time, head over to Twitter and weigh in on this series. Hashtag CLG win or hashtag TL win as they fight for their final spot in that finals matchup at Mandalay Bay. Loser goes for 3rd, 4th, and nobody wants to go home with that prize. It's the one, that first prize that you want to grab the championship. CLG looking to defend that championship. Team Liquid looking to make it to their first finals. We're on the Rift. It is Game 5. There is no more Rift after this. They have to leave it all right here. TL on the red, CLG on blue side. Let's do this.
Obviously, they want to win this one. If they can win this to make it to the finals, it gives a chance for them to win the 2016 Spring Split, get their team logo hung in the studio, get their picture on the sidewall, go to the midseason invitational, and also get the most possible championship points to head to Worlds. Remember, Team Solo Mid qualified to Worlds last year because of their championship points, which were heavily because of that Spring Split victory. So this game has massive implications throughout the rest of the year.
And TL missed it because CLG won the finals. And then they got knocked into Gauntlet because of points and got knocked out of it by C9.
Yep, and C9.
So this could be revenge for TL against CLG, and we're seeing a level 1. The stun!
They weren't ready to follow up, but Xmithie using the refillable. If he's back on Fountain by 120, you're able to get back to everything. But usually at this point of a series, we see teams being very careful and holding off on doing things, but they are ready to get in each other's faces.
Oh yeah, and these guys are looking for fights this game. Xmithie switches his mastery choice. No strength of ages. Fervor of battle. It is time to fight. Matt looks like he is still riding that high from the last Bard game. Want to see the first Q he doesn't actually hit? Still waiting.
When your first one lands,
oh dear,
maybe
this
your
could be the
second one
trap.
does too.
Block against the wall. So much damage coming from Thunderlord's Bard in the early part of the game. And the harass they can put on here is huge. If they can keep this up, it means the lane is theirs in the bot lane, and it's already Piglet.
You have to be careful, though.
CLG traded back really hard. So if a binding, that's the first Q miss. Hot streak.
Afro,
the flash in. That's the ignite as well. So the kill pressure is even less there for CLG. Matt's going to have his cooldowns in a bit, but he doesn't have any way to connect the Cosmic Binding. And it is gloves off in the bottom lane, 2 minutes in.
He read him. Aphromoo walked up. You think that he's just going to throw the Q from that range?
Aphro has done that before, and these teams have the same mindset right now. They know this entire series, like the first game was a little bit about late game team fighting, but games 2, 3, and 4 swung off of huge early or mid game plays. So both of these guys, they don't want to wait for the other team to make a play on them. They want to make the play and take the series for themselves. That's why we see Matt setting the trap in the Tri-Brush. That's why we see Aphromoo flashing for a Dark Binding, blind in a lane, and essentially exposing themselves for a later gank. But Piglet knew that was also the case and flashed away from it. That was amazing.
And both teams know, if you get a finger, you're taking the whole arm, and you're getting the mental game as well.
Tear it off. Especially this early.
If you end up getting the lead early, you're going to be able to just snowball. You get the mental edge in it too. Your nerves actually start going away, and you start getting hypey, and you start thinking, this is where we do, this is where we close it out and make the finals.
I love that both of them said, okay, let's go. Because whoever loses that is basically forced to switch your lane. You can't go back up against that. It's going to be a huge lead for the other AD carry and support.
Stixxay has one right now.
Summoner spell-wise, Aphromoo did lose one, but they gained the experience advantage because they pushed Piglet back in the lane. And then we also have to keep in mind the way these team compositions are structured. It's not about the CLG split push. Darshan is most likely just to be in a neutralized matchup between Poppy and Nautilus. Maybe a little bit of early game impact could be seen, but there's not too much of a fallback pattern for either one of these teams.
Yeah.
Slightly higher wave clear on Team Liquid, but it's a team fight for team fight team competition, and that's why these early leads can have an even larger impact.
I love that we just get to watch this bottom lane. Usually it's the junglers. Where are they going to go next? Oh, they didn't choose the gank. It has been pure action so far, and I'm sure it's going to keep the AD carry on their toes to start things up. We may see a path followed by Xmithie here down to the bottom. But there's already a ward placed by TL back there.
Yeah, I mean, CLG doesn't want to have a repeat performance of what happened last game. If you flip the map, that's exactly the gank he went for in the first game. Waited for a recall, sorry, the game 4. Waited for a recall in the brush that was warded and ended up giving up a number of kills. But recalls, game's still even. Darshan.
Big guy, but just missed the wall. Actually, it's been a good push for Lourlo trying to get Darshan into the turret, but Darshan actually did a very nice job farming underneath and now has that lane reset. Little love to the bot here for Dardoch.
Yeah, they're going to go for a tower dive here. TL, they go for tower dives all the time. FeniX backed off already. He's looking for the back, or is he going to try to TP into this?
Essentially right there, Dardoch had flash, and he was hoping that Aphromoo would use his black shield on someone so he could unburrow onto the next target. Aphromoo was patient. He knew that it would still be a dangerous turret dive, and Dardoch has to back away.
You have to watch out in this top side, though. Xmithie
Damn,
marked
Darshan.
Lourlo. Lourlo doesn't have TP. He has flash, but he already used Steadfast Presence, though.
Yeah,
make sure you're on the
away.
Other side of the wall.
Yeah, you have to use Steadfast Presence reactively.
Yep.
There's not a lot of things that actually stop Nautilus hook. Even if you Poppy ultimate him away, he will still come back in. But Steadfast Presence will stop him.
Well, that gank will give Darshan time to clear away the Krugs. They're splitting the map, even though they're standard lanes as far as junglers are concerned. It's been one of the pattern of junglers this season, is every time a gank happens, a jungler will just, instead of trying to counter gank, just go in.
Oh,
Aphro and Stixxay still haven't shopped, though, so they have to back away from this turret.
Making the time look very opportune with those bindings down, but it looks like they're just going to be grabbing some turret pressure here.
They want to go back for those minions because they have jungler backup.
Exactly. They have the jungler coming up here. He's actually going to sit off on the wing so he's out of Rek'Sai detection and make sure that if Dardoch does go in, then the counter gank is available.
And now they got him on a board.
Yep. As soon as this wave crashes, I think they're just going to go after turret game. Okay, so they're actually going to dive.
Huhi's TP's down.
Yeah, just
Darshan and Lourlo's is up here, but I don't think they're going to make any moves. Well, Lourlo is moving away from a push lane, but it looks like it's only to ward. Very touch and go for these. Do they want it? Do they not?
So tense.
Yeah, a lot of it was because Stixxay was trying to wait for enough gold for BF Sword. He finally does. He's able to go back and get a BF Sword and a pink, but essentially the really early recall from Piglet, he bought a rejuvenation bead for a little bit of health regen in lane, and he actually used that to bully off Stixxay after. Oh my god, and he still hasn't gone back as far as Aphromoo is concerned.
Piglet was already backing, though. Piglet had already been like, you know what, I'm not even going to go for a dive. It's not even in my mind. It's time to back off. Maybe would have gotten a kill there. Or a summoner.
Very surprised that, well, Piglet did go low, but there was still that ignite and flash up very early when Aphromoo went hard, so they weren't able to work off of that in the bot lane. Things have kind of fizzled out. Now here as we look at the top, there was a roam coming in from Huhi, but it seems like they're calling everything off right now. It seems if it doesn't feel good at all, don't even touch it. Just stay away.
Yeah. You always have that kind of intuition where you're just like, no, it's been too long. We haven't seen them for 5 seconds. He could be.
Yep. Then somebody's like, maybe we can get it. If I hit this, 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 and this, then we'll be good.
If you force it and you make it that type of mechanical play, a lot of the times it will go wrong, and then that tilts you pretty hard.
Get me off this ride.
Yeah, you can't force it.
Even up, 8 minutes in, 11.2 on either side. And what aggression we've seen in this early game as well. Just nobody's been able to capitalize off of anything.
It's the most touch and go 0 kill at 8 minute game I've seen for quite some time. You got the mono-stacking items on Huhi in the mid lane, so he's actually doing pretty well against FeniX, although you would expect him to be down in CS. Karma's a very impressive laner, and again, Lourlo's just able to walk away from these ganks, no problems.
This is actually concerning. Watching Darshan on this Poppy makes me wonder about his ability on this champion. In comparison to
this
the
is
others.
actually a dangerous 2v2 for them to be taking because Karma is on the way as well as Dardoch.
He's got flash. He actually gets a big hit there. He's going to be safe for now. FeniX is there. He throws in one, puts on the focus resolve, but it does not lock down. Xmithie flashes in. Soul Flare kill going over to FeniX. And they're going to start backing out of this one. A very quick rotation going all the way up the lane, and that wasn't even a teleport for FeniX.
In Game 5, FeniX roams up to the top lane. First blood to Team Liquid.
And deviating from the normal play pattern is something that really throws people for a loop in Game 5. FeniX doesn't really roam often. It's shown by his kill participation as well as his incredible best-in-class CS per minute. Well, this game his CS per minute is actually down a little bit, but he gets the roam, which could be critical in deciding this matchup. Getting the kill onto Xmithie, unlocking Dardoch's confidence, and Team Liquid's ready to go.
Oh my word. Playing around teleports as well. As I said, FeniX was down, so they probably thought he wouldn't be going anywhere.
Matt is level 6. He's looking for an ultimate to possibly set something up. With this combination, you get the ultimate down, you get the Tempered Fate down, you put a trap right under that person during the ultimate. It'll arm by the time that it's up.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Ton of damage afterwards, and you can take them out. But Aphromoo not even 6 yet, so Aphromoo can't even make a play in return. It does look like they're calling Dardoch down here too. Yeah, the
Caitlyn Bard lane has definitely pulled ahead. Stixxay and Aphromoo's Lucian Morg.
Oh my god!
Done into a
he stuns out Aphro. They are able to go for Stixxay. The flash from Matt, but he gets hit. One auto from Xmithie went over. The teleport as well is coming in. Here is FeniX once again. And Darshan's going to find himself in a bad spot here. Only one more minion to move forward. And they may just back off here or look for Dragon.
They may. It's a 1v4. Ryze would be behind them.
I think he
not
can turret.
want Darshan to escape. They could go for the turret, or they could go for more. Darshan has a lot of health. This is touch and go.
That Bomby Cinder, the Bombies is killing Lourlo. He got way too close to CLG for the Sunfire damage. And now they are getting taken out. Very big error there by TL to stay too long and not have a focus on one objective or the other. They lose one and lose a little bit of ground.
A great call on that, Riv. The Bomby Cinder for Lourlo was just taking aggro over and over again. He wanted to get the turret, but then he actually attacked Darshan.
Yeah.
And it was just completely back and forth. Xmithie has no mana, but Dardoch?
That's the Bard. Is it Matt? Are they playing the long con here? Or he just gives him some hot cocoa? He's good.
Yeah, Game 5s and playoffs are an experience of their own. This is going to be the first experience for Lourlo, Dardoch, Huhi, and Stixxay, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult than your average game, and you can see the stress that gets put on the decisions here. Team Liquid, with clear minds, they probably would have just backed off and taken that turret, threatening the collapse from Huhi, but they overstay a little bit. Now, do they get something back?
Mid lane's going to be pushed here by FeniX. It will require respect from CLG, so it looks like they'll be forced back for now. We'll see this dive once again and how it just went a little wrong.
That stun right there. Ulti onto Aphromoo to save him for later.
Yeah. And then the Bard ultimate was also perfect because it went past the guy who had Black Shield. Unfortunately, he does tick down. But Lourlo teleported in, got it, and then FeniX teleports in as well. And as far as diving Darshan, they either go now or never. But they delay a little bit. They're backing away. They see Ryze on the backside. Lourlo, you kind of want the aggro to be on him, but he was trying to clear it or go for Xmithie. It just sticks on the whole time. The turret heats up. It does more damage with successive auto attacks. Darshan gets the hit on him, and then Team Liquid has to bail out.
At that point, you even go to the right. You don't drop turret aggro by going to the left into two members because they can just focus you out. So it's just a series of events right there, decisions by Lourlo that were not optimal. Oh my god.
Matt is so on fire right now.
Bard life.
These are the types of experiences for people to watch in Game 4 and Game 5 and say, I want to be like that guy. I'm only going to play Bard for the rest of my life.
Well,
I'm a Bard main.
He's a rookie too. And that's the thing is there's always that rookie aspect. How are they going to perform under pressure? Well, it doesn't seem to affect any of these guys.
It's also in a consideration, you got to think Stixxay is allowing these angles to happen. Matt is super finding them, but as an AD carry, you can easily position yourself to stay away from these. That's what makes it even better, is that Matt can continuously find them no matter what. 13 minutes on the clock. They don't seem too sure about it, and they all stick together on the call and head out.
Really like the TP there from Huhi. It's an extension of the turret dive that Team Liquid tried to execute. They burned both of their teleports. Huhi then walked down. So we're not seeing sync teleport cooldowns here. We're seeing a lot of walking.
That's very true.
To try and make plays. And this is a really good punish on that summoner spell advantage. CLG gets a dragon for that teleport. Absolutely worth it.
been a lot of commotion in this bot lane as we look around. 102 for Darshan versus Lourlo's Nautilus. Nautilus still be a big beast once he gets some items. Bit of a discrepancy in the mid lane as well, as the AD carries are quite close.
Yeah. 14 minutes into this game. This is definitely one of the closest, if not the closest games of the series.
Yep.
And this is where a lot of leadership is going to come into play. Aphromoo and Darshan are arguably some of the best shot callers in North America. You hear so much about Huhi, but you hardly ever hear about Aphromoo. He has consistently been the one calling these map movements for CLG. Then you look over Team Liquid, and they have young shot callers, Dardoch and Matt, but they have been steadily improving. This is the type of game where you really make a name for yourself.
Yep, you absolutely get tested here. Pressure is on, 5 games in. You're going to be able to make the same things happen or take a complete 90-degree turn, be able to change things up and call an audible right away. Looks like Liquid likes this composition, and with Matt, their audible is pretty much engage when we can. So far, it's worked in the bot lane, and they're going to start heading back down towards bot. Get Piglet a little more farmed and start things up. For the side of CLG, they've been able to control the map, get Darshan going. Maybe it's another game for them to do that. 15 minutes in, very, very even. Well, you've yet to see anybody grab either of those advantages.
Back to the scene of the crime. This turret's already really low. No black shield!
Yeah, but he can't get chained for a stun. He
Yes,
can! Oh my god!
They timed it perfectly on the end there. It could be going for the kill still. A little hard by Dardoch. They're going to find FeniX. Oh, the flare! He flashed into it as well! Unfortunate play there. They try to pick something back up. CLG goes for broke on this one. They throw the full team in. Piglet goes down, but yes, that's a shutdown actually. It's going to be Dardoch that follows. An incorrect look by me. CLG still picks up the kills. I thought it was a 1-for-1 trade there, but it's 2 for 2 now.
Are you
looks
kidding
like they're
me?
going to keep it going. You got to remember, that's the AD in Kindred, and she can keep throwing those auto attacks. Darshan through, finds the kill on. Can the team follow up though? He actually closed a huge gap there and is forced to pull out. Got what he wanted though in the kill. Brings it to 5-5. This game is quiet and then it explodes.
It's the loudest quiet game I've ever seen, Rip. These guys go ahead. You're absolutely right about having lulls though. This one was just a play where Team Liquid goes, and you don't see the Bard stun, but after he walks towards the minion line, the black shield expires as the stun hits.
Oh, because he hit him. He hit him with a meep.
Yep.
But then the dive continues, right? And the teleports are coming back off sync. Flashes directly back from a line skill shot means he's still going to die to it.
Yeah. And this is where Darshan comes up. Dardoch decides to turn, flashes in to knock up. Doesn't save Piglet, and then it becomes a 3-on-3. Low HP, back and forth. Lamb's Respite stopped the Soul Flare from landing another kill for FeniX. And then Matt walks a little too far forward here. He actually got body blocked on FeniX a couple times there.
And Darshan with the maximum gap close. Flashes, heroic charges, and minion for distance just to get in range for the final shot of the kill. That, 3 for 2, makes this 1,000 gold game a 500 gold game.
Yeah, and his Iron Ambassador actually jumps back to him, so he has the shield to get out as well.
4-0-0 Poppy for Darshan. It was a little bit
shaky,
questionable in lane, but he's now opened up a 25 CS advantage in what looks like about a 2,000 gold lead. 1,600 over Lourlo.
And TL, they're getting to these turrets, they're getting great dives, but every time they're at these turrets, they try to get the kills, not the objective. And that's what they're greeting for right now. They're trying to crush CLG, but CLG are not having any of it.
What they tried to do in Game 4, which really snowballed into victory, CLG has been much more ready for those turret dives.
Aphromoo running around with a black shield on, trying to snap those traps and get rid of them. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Right, there's that timer between each one. You got to be very careful. The TP top and no defense from the turret means it will be Liquids. They're committing a lot here.
Yeah, this might end up being traded because Huhi's in the bottom lane.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryze is able to take that for himself. And as this game moves on, it does seem like CLG is absorbing Team Liquid better and better right there. That's a Bard ultimate that did push him off a turret, but never even moved towards a turret dive, and that gold lead is now at 200. It's going to extend a little bit if this Rift Herald is a fight, but once again, CLG is catching up to him.
Get in there.
CLG, though, pulls ahead ever so slightly.
It's reactive play from Liquid now. CLG is able to activate whatever they want, and it seems like Liquid is trying to figure out where to go next. Now it's behind door number 1 in the mid lane. CLG will find out soon. as they start to push their wards forward.
So we saw a very similar composition from TL last game, and we were talking about their damage and how their damage is actually rather low unless they started snowballing it at the beginning.
Right.
Well, it's a 4-0 Darshan on this Poppy right now. He is incredibly tanky, and you have to keep him in mind in all of these fights. He's going to be very hard to take down.
And there's nothing like a Trundle in this game that can shred the Poppy armor and magic resist. Now, Poppy gets tankier than most champions because she gains percentage armor and MR, and then gains even more when she's low health. So as long as Darshan continues to build tank instead of getting greedy with the damage item, he can be the one-man frontline that they can't even dive past if he has his steadfast presence up. So it's getting actually really dangerous for Team Liquid. They've been going for the plays. They haven't quite worked as well as they want, but they do need to keep the tempo up because of that eventuality of a super tank pop.
Well, CLG feels confident enough to go ahead and back pretty much in the eyes of Liquid. This is going to give away Dragon 20 minutes into the game. Just a few minutes from here, a handful of minutes. Last game had ended in favor of Team Liquid. It just goes to show you the change in pace here from game to game. Baron is going to be up and ready for play in 4 seconds. Like I said, low damage comps really not able to fly at that just yet, but it is going to prove pretty useful for CLG when they need to get there and cause TL to be more reactive once again. 32.9 to 31.7 here. Chronologic Gaming again starts to build themselves out a lead. We'll see how they can work that advantage as it looks like they're starting to hover towards this last outer top turret.
And Huhi is actually still splitting in the bot lane despite not having his teleport up for a little bit longer here. It's still rather risky. Every time this happens, you have to keep in mind, Bard ultimate could catch somebody, and then he can't answer.
It's a really good bit of damage from Lourlo.
If he ulties, it means they really want
going
this.
all in with this one. Bard ultimate could be flying in over the top.
That gets a flash. That gets a lot of flashes. Very flashy play. Ace in the hole is going to be picked up for Piglet, the guy they need to get going.
Yeah, they got to watch that bot tier 2 turret, though. What are they going to get off of this? Because mid is being shoved in by Stixxay. It's going to take them a long time.
Baron off of this?
Oh, my God.
You lose a second tier, you might lose a second tier mid as well.
Huhi's got his teleport, though. They do not want to give up a 20-minute Baron. COD is collapsing on this right now. Team Liquid,
I think TL.
Dardoch smite is down. They should and won't take this fight. They kill Aphro right away. They kill Xmithie after the Lamb's respite goes down. Huhi is trying to be that machine gun mage, but it's the flash in from Dardoch. The playbook coming out from these guys once again. And a great dodge by FeniX, shutting down the spell reel coming in from Huhi. And they dance around with the defiant speed from FeniX and take the fight over CLG.
And TL on the back foot, the map looks like it's not in their favor at all. And a beautiful bait into that Baron pit.
Those types of calls take a lot of guts, especially in a game like this, because you know if that doesn't go well, everyone says, oh my God, they threw it Baron. But you can't care about that when you're trying to win the game, and they go for it. They know they had a kill already onto the carry Darshan. That's most of COG's goals, so they know even in a 4v5, they can take a little bit of damage from Baron. Karma gives him a big shield on the way as they're running out, and even though Matt takes a whole bunch of damage, the rest of Team Liquid can funnel out of the Baron pit, and then CLG's actually one's caught at the end of the fight.
Yep. Dardoch flashes in for the follow-up there. Huhi had to use his flash to get over the trap line that was here. So he used it at the beginning of the fight, and now he can't get out. Ah! I'm literally trapped.
They got real excited for Matt on that one. Culling, a few other things used for him, and the majority of the fight was bunched up, ready to take that damage.
Yeah, if you don't get that fight just perfect, they stall you out, they get 1 or 2 turrets on CLG's side, and Darshan still had TP. So as soon as he was up, he was going to TP in. So it had to be that decisive now call from TL as soon as Darshan was down. They had to not flinch in it, and they did it perfectly.
And off of that, they have both teleports up. Huhi's was used there, so there's more plays to possibly be made on this one as CLG really, like we said, it's got to be a 90-degree turn to pull the game back in your favor, and they did it right there.
Yeah, all that play, though, came from Team Liquid controlling Darshan, who is the gold leader on CLG. Now Darshan is off on the side, and he still does have his teleport. So the fact that Huhi is grouped with their second teleport kind of nullifies that double TP advantage, unless Team Liquid is going to set up a 1-3-1, which they are not right now. Instead, they're trying to siege with the Power Spike Karma, who just completed the Death Cap, and the Infinity Edge, which just finished on Caitlyn.
Exactly, and he's level 12, so he can put down 4 traps and just completely section off this area on the turret. Caitlyn pretty much tells you where they're going to be sieging. Give you one guess.
Yeah.
There's that Infinity Edge Hurricane already as well. And Piglet always
very hard to defend.
focused on making sure he's a guy getting shots on the turret. There were 2 right there. Whenever he can, he gets 1 or 2.
Darshan's coming up from the side.
Yeah. And notice how CLG is not defending the turret in a standard way. The Caitlyn traps are part of that because they don't want their path blocked, but it's also because of the Bard ultimate. They don't want to get trapped too heavily under the turret. That's the power of Caitlyn, though. He landed 1 headshot proc on him, got another normal shot to ace in the hole, and Stixxay has to go off. Plus, they get one in the split push.
If TL get this mid turret, then they jump to about a 3,000 gold lead. Right now, they're up about 1.5k. They'll jump to about 2.3. It's about 800 gold worth. But yeah, they evened up the turrets. And there they go.
I think just when it gets scary, when Piglet gets going, when FeniX gets going, you have 2 targets you immediately need to shut down in a fight.
They chunked out Aphromoo. They immediately put assist me pings all over the Baron. They have the Scuttler. They're denying the vision. More baits.
That TP's there.
Yep, Lourlo can easily TP. He could also stop Darshan from TPing, which is actually an even more valuable play because he'd be trading his inferior gold to Darshan's. Team Liquid is definitely looking to bait this one instead of do it, and that's going to be really tough against CLG, who have double boards. Huhi's caught, though.
That's the smite. It's going to keep him in range. Another TP. Huhi goes down. The team's going to have to leave him.
Damage.
They give him Lamb's Respite. That may be something they need to go to try to get the Baron. That's Huhi down. A lot of AoE damage they're going to need in this confined pit area.
And Darshan is walking over all the way from the bottom lane. It seemed like Huhi had a lot of damage, and maybe that was a fight that CLG would want to take, but they do not. He is here now. Team Liquid is still a little low, and it would be a 4v5. Still dangerous.
Well, as soon as Huhi's up, though, he has TP. If they stall this
another flash.
Yeah, 25 seconds. Team Liquid, I think they have to bail out of this one. They get the kill. No need to get overly aggressive.
Uh-oh.
He's all right. He's all right.
All right.
What a game, though.
Yeah.
This is what you want in Game 5. You have the first 4 games kind of being traded back and forth, pick and ban adaptations, some really one-sided games as well. Then Game 5, both teams switch it up, and then also play the closest, most competitive game of the series.
We had the Tristana bans coming in, then left up, then a ban maybe they didn't need to do throughout the season.
Graves
or
ban.
throughout the series, rather.
Obviously, they picked the right one to drop. They dropped the Graves ban, and then it's Poppy first pick for Darshan. It has been rather good in his hands, but up
a lot of
40 CS, but tank versus tank is not the same type of matchup that we used to see in the top lane that you could crush somebody in.
A lot of small changes and little evolutions throughout the series for both teams.
Yeah, also, if you were to think of just the overall goal distribution, I think it is more favorable for Team Liquid. They have 4 kills on their 2 main carries, whereas CLG has the 4 kills on their tank. You take the 2 carries over the 1 tank any day of the week.
Yes, please.
It depends on the tank.
Unless it's Echo, I guess. Echo might be the only one. But even against Echo, I feel like 2 carries for 1 tank is never fair.
Well, it depends. Is it the same amount of kills?
Yeah, I know, right? So obviously it's more.
Oh, just the chunk.
Oh, Huhi.
He has flash.
Oh, flash the pop-up, gets the shield. The lock doesn't happen from the dredge line.
Stixxay?
Oh my god! How much damage was that?
A lot.
The Soul Flare absolutely destroying Stixxay. He was toying with fire there and got deleted.
Oh, Xmithie on
the
Piglet.
Team, can they hold this? That was a moment that had or could not happen for CLG. Matt's getting taken down very low, but he's not necessarily the one that TL needs to win this fight. They're going to keep going with their damage dealers. There is the focus resolve. It does not lock down to Darshan. Wow. And they're going to keep going.
Words get really hard. Pressing buttons gets really hard too. Xmithie didn't use Lamb's Respite. He thought he was going to kill Piglet with the last charge of his E, and it didn't kill him. It didn't execute him, and then he went down instead. So Xmithie not able to come up big on this Kindred that he's playing offensively, like we said at the start. Has Runaan's Hurricane, doesn't even have Ma yet.
Stixxay is leaving base with 1,300 gold, which tells me he's saving up for a BF sword, but I think it is definitely time for him to build a Hex Drinker. He needs to be able to live through what just happened to him in the last fight. But he's trying to go big with some defense, with some offensive items, and is thinking he's going to be able to reactively dodge it next time. I think that is another big risk to take, but you have no time to think in a game like this. Baron going once again for Team Liquid.
What is the trap line like? What is that?
It's a 5v5 in the Baron, but they have to peel out.
Oh my word.
Now it's really dangerous.
At this point, the tickling now coming in from Lucian. Hammer's going to miss.
Not a big fan of that trap line either. It didn't look like Liquid actually set up appropriately for this Baron. It looks like more of just another bait. I think TL just keep going back to it for the threat of they will do the Baron.
Yep.
And as soon as you cross a certain line, they're actually just going to turn on you. We've seen it get down to about 4,000 HP, and they still pull off of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Don't wanna take the
continual
risk.
over and over. This is one of the core shot calling moves when you have an advantage or you're looking to force fights. Draw them into the Baron, fight. Draw them into the Baron, fight. And they're waiting until they get that game-changing team fight if they can get the right Bard ultimate, and they haven't been punished yet with the disengage.
Oh, focus
Karma
resolve.
Shield, they want to go, but Black Shield stops it.
And with Bard, it's so easy to bait this over and over again because you're almost never in a bad position. You have Caitlyn for the traps to set up the siege, keep clearing out mid lane so they have to push it back and then go back to Baron. And then you do this. You magical journey back there, you magical journey out, set up that line.
It looks real fancy, but it actually hasn't given them much yet. They're setting up the trap line ever
They're
so
getting tired.
slowly.
They're getting tired,
They're
Jatt.
gathering frequent journey miles. They're going to be able to use those. You upgrade, you get more stuff, core items, spikes, everything. You know about it. It's coming up on 30 minutes.
Your
Don't worry.
penguin gets a pillow, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Hot cocoa.
Yes.
Hot cocoa and everything.
So Stixxay just built the BF sword and a Wrath Elixir. That would have been enough gold for a no magic mantle, so he's really banking on the sustain and the damage for the next team fight.
He's getting singled out.
He is getting singled out. How many times have we seen Team Liquid look at Baron? They started yet again.
Get the blue trinket.
3 blue trinkets on CLG. Like, they're not going to let Team Liquid do this without being seen.
And then, once again, they don't want to take the risk. They want to go in.
Tempered Fate behind the team. They have to consider that didn't hit anybody. CLG is free to roam on this, and TL's splitting. But that's so Dardoch can look to get a flank in. They are going to pull back and gather up.
Yeah, but they don't actually have the inside track on mid anymore for the first time since this dance started. So TL has to go the long way around. They're going to lose this mid turret.
Yeah, they're also down a Bard ultimate because they keep taking these shots and missing ever so slightly. So CLG really dancing this one out expertly, even though Team Liquid is continually making CLG make tough decisions. And CLG is making the tough decisions properly.
Rotato potato over and over again.
That is it. Round and round and round we go.
Who gets caught first? Nobody knows. That might not be Piglet. Mikhail's out for him now as we continue to build up items. Piglet's actually going for that Bloodthirster so he can get even more aggressive.
It's a banner of command for Aphromoo. So they love the 1-3-1,
Yep.
but now one's a minion.
No, I think that's exactly what they want to do in this one with how much attention Team Liquid's putting on the Baron. If you start a banner push in the bottom lane and they're trying to dance for 2 minutes, you're not going to be able to do that. Scrying Orb yet again. Version 15 Baron bait, let's go.
I don't believe you, Liquid. I don't believe you're going to do it.
Oh, Darshan does, though.
Darshan, steadfast presence is off. Xmithie in the back line. He'll be safe as well.
Oh, boy.
Nice ultimate. Piglets
Should be able to get back.
isolated.
Things calming down once again. That temper fate's down, so TL still has to be careful.
Oh my God.
CLG, the fact that they can keep stopping this, I believe it's definitely working in their favor.
You think that someone has to change the cycle.
Oh, Stixxay.
Because the cycle is repeating itself, and CLG is very slowly getting ahead. Team Liquid is banking on the fact that they can land a crucial skill shot, but CLG, they're trying to change the
TP
cycle.
home
Flash in.
That's the mantra Defiance going out. We have Dardoch going very low. Lourlo's not taking too much damage, and Matt is actually holding 2 at bay right now, so they can't get in. Darshan goes in by himself, but only taking about a quarter of his health.
Piglet has so much damage right now.
Back and forth, and they just can't get enough damage to stick here. Everybody's able to move out and get themselves back in. The Guardian Angel on Huhi means they're not taking him down very soon, and nobody falls here 32 minutes in. They just can't find the kill.
And these players are under so much stress. I just checked my Fitbit and my heart rate is up right now. What are they going through right now? It is so tense, and he finds 2!
That's gonna be the ult. Can Lourlo hit the hook? Oh, he turned to go the other way. It was the second thought, but he gets the flash Riptide. He's gonna get the kill. Finally, an opening coming through. Both supports are down. What can they do?
What's the opening? It's 4v4. They have teleports up right now. Baron bait, number 23. Let's go, Team Liquid. They're doing it without this support.
The opening is what you make it.
They want to rush this one down. Maybe Stixxay's a little bit low on mana,
gonna
but
TP?
this is relentless.
There's going to be a few traps.
On to Xmithie!
Xmithie. He's going in. Lamb's Respite is up to be used. Dardoch very low. Focused Resolve locks down Huhi.
Oh!
And that's going to be Piglet.
Stixxay!
Huge going down. He wasn't even able to get his summoner off. And now they're going on to Lourlo. Lourlo goes down. CLG is taking this one into their favor. Finally, it's been a back and forth game, but they finally stopped the repetition in its tracks.
And Piglet ended up getting killed during the Lamb's respite from Xmithie, and then Stixxay charges out of it, and he gets picked off himself.
Yeah, that shield from FeniX onto Dardoch was way more than Stixxay expected on the back of that fight, and I didn't quite get to see it, but I think he got a little bit unlucky on his crits at the very end of that. Either way, we're still only 800 gold different, and because the kills are traded back and forth, no one can actually get that Baron. So when is the Banner of Command minion coming in?
I don't know
This is actually a game where you want the Zerah Portal Banner to break this 5-man cycle of Baron, but we're not seeing it, so it's an endless cycle of fights at Baron.
Steps on the trap, gets Xmithie there, not able to blow him up because the team is still just a little bit too far behind. Dardoch off to the left.
And Stixxay goes huge here. Piglet,
oh man.
yeah,
Yep.
looks like he got CC'd right there, but then the knockup from Dardoch while he was shielded from FeniX basically makes Stixxay 100-0 on the backside of the fight. If Stixxay lives there and kills Dardoch, CLG can take the Baron.
Yep.
But those incredibly close moments can be series-defining at this point.
It still didn't give anybody any type of advantage. We are dead even at gold 34 minutes into this game. And I want to look at Xmithie really quickly because I don't think he even has... Yeah, he's got 3 stacks of Kindred right now, so he's still not even that powerful as Kindred. The Runan's Hurricane is usually for when you have like 5 stacks, 6 stacks, and you're having a really good game.
And this is also going to be one of these games. It's a defining moment for CLG as well, who's been defined as a split push team and a Darshan carry.
Yep.
Their backline damage dealers are the change from last season. They no longer have Poe Belter and Doublelift back there, and those are the guys in standard team fights that deal the majority of the damage. This is when Huhi and Stixxay need to prove themselves and defend CLG's championship. If they cannot perform in this game, they cannot defend their championship. And they're doing pretty well so far, but it's still anyone's game.
And they're up against the 2 veteran members from Team Liquid. One, a former world champion, and the other, this guy has pretty much the best play of the NA LCS with the Azir kills against this team.
In that sense, the positions are swapped for the veterans returning and kind of the rookies on the team. You have to face up against the guy that was there last year.
Oh, Bard ulti, this one's good.
That's on Aphromoo. The chance for TL to come back here. CLG just made a gigantic push with that last fight, and if they get another one, they take a very nice lead. Piglet with free DPS from the outside takes Darshan out of the fight. Is the Riptide Dredgeline coming in? Dredgeline misses, and they cannot follow up with any more of that fight. CLG still very much respecting TL's fight here as they make their way around the map. Darshan low, almost gets taken out for backing in a very poor spot.
Yeah, he has TP though, so I don't know how long Team Liquid can actually stay here. TP flank wards become a huge problem up against this Poppy. Sweeping on the way out, and that isn't their scuttler though.
Hey, guess what? They're going to Baron again, guys. Clearing out the pink wards.
Seen this.
It hasn't hurt them yet though.
It hasn't helped them either, is the thing. It's
it will.
It's just extending the game. Yeah, it basically means whoever wins or loses a fight in a large fashion, now the death times are getting longer, will win the series.
Wait a minute. They just knew they got damage onto Dardoch with his ult up or not. They're going to be able to start this with a big damage lead.
Yeah, both TPs are up for Team Liquid, so they can easily come in to stop this one.
Dardoch.
Xmithie actually got really low off the Baron.
Void Rush was used all the way into CLG's side of the jungle. They're going to be able to flank this one out completely. It wasn't for the Baron. It was to get the flank on. They're on to Xmithie. Lamb's respite is down, but he's the only one that can stay in, and he'll be going down. Matt falls. That's Stixxay going down as well. And Team Liquid are in the middle of the fight, but they're also in very big health bars of CLG. A double kill coming in for Huhi. Huhi is being huge right now. And it's Darshan, 1v1 onto FeniX. The health bar's so low, the Defiant Shield saves Dardoch as they take down Lourlo.
Oh my god. Huhi comes up huge there. Xmithie as well.
This game is going to give everyone heart attacks. We're still like 300 gold different from this game. 13 kills to 16. No one has gained a decisive advantage, and what looked like a disastrous play for CLG turned into something that was okay.
If you press the wrong button one time, you could cost the entire game. You have to be on point. Aphromoo goes down early, and then Lourlo, there isn't enough damage here to actually blow up Xmithie in time, and he gets the Lamb's Respite off. They throw it at Stixxay afterwards.
And I think a big thing about this fight that made Team Liquid so confident was the early kill on Aphromoo. But then the ultimate that pushed Piglet out of the fight really delayed his entrance. So Huhi then flashes in to get a root on Piglet. Darshan then stends him against the wall. And guess what? Baron's happening again. Back to live.
Where's Dardoch?
They don't have Piglet.
It is a 50-50 smite on the board. That's going to be the hammer. And it is shocking. Over. It throws back Matt. Remember, Lourlo just came back up. Lourlo's TP is down. They're fighting 4v5. Dardoch's in. Holy crap. They take down Stixxay first. It's a 1-for-1 so far. This could be the chase. Matt's Tempered Fate is halfway up, so they're not going to see that again in this fight. The Cosmic Binding just missing over the wall. And I don't know how. It's always one person and then just the exit from the fight on both teams.
Stixxay, please, for the love of everything, build some magic resistance. He's getting one shot here, and it could cost them the series. The TP's coming in yet again. They do not have their AD carry.
Lourlo goes in. They don't know that Darshan's coming around.
FeniX!
He's on to FeniX. FeniX is a huge utility factor in these fights. Piglet with the damage, the net backwards. He's getting a lot of DPS out. Matt is helping stay on his side for the peel, and now they've chosen sides. CLG pushing from the top, pushing Team Liquid back, and Piglet, he's left the fight. They're just trying to keep it there for the time being. Lourlo doing his damnedest, and Piglet, he'll have to back off before he grabs the inhib turret. So many calls, so many right calls, wrong calls, but they're all keeping the game even in the end, and now the chase to go coast to coast.
He's got
Darshan looking
oh my God.
He will. To not have the AD carry now coming up in this fight may just mean Baron.
The more times Team Liquid goes back to Baron, the more time CLG slowly gets some of that gold back. They're now 3,500 gold up. And oh my God.
It seems like everybody's TP is just always up.
Yeah, how many distortion? I don't think anyone actually has distortion boots except some cooldown reduction boots on FeniX. Anyway, now with no Piglet and no Lourlo up, I think we may finally see the Baron go down.
There's a ward in there though.
Unless Dardoch steals it.
They see Dardoch.
This would be
know what he's capable of.
Super risky to try.
He has to stop him.
He can't get it.
A little too early. They're going to stop and turn on to him. The smite is early. The smite goes to Xmithie. The Tempered Fate as well, late. CLG finally has a ball, not even the ball, in their court. One to work with here, finally. We have a gold difference.
Finally, after 20 minutes of Baron dancing, CLG seems to have a bit of an edge. The Black Shield at the start from there from Aphromoo saved him from getting initiated on. And really, look at them just pile onto Piglet, and he could not get back into the fight after this.
No, he can't attack. Darshan is just too much threat at that point, and the target selection from TL is so rough. Huhi has become a monster on this Ryze, and we're seeing why it's a contested champion all across the world right now. He's just performing so well on it, and Darshan with the flank, singling out FeniX. That was the start of the fight. It was pretty much the end of it, too.
Just on a mission. Sees Piglet here.
It's so clever. Nice ward.
Ward gets the vision on him. Easy for Darshan right there, even though Piglet had the traps down. And then they get the kill over to Stixxay. He still hasn't built any magic resistance. I just want to know Magic Mantle so he won't get one shot by FeniX.
He just wants to bring the damage to the table.
Like, at least Piglet has a Bloodthirster, so if he gets jumped on by Ryze, he's got a little bit of lifesteal and overshield.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, then he's got Aphromoo shield.
Yeah, yeah.
Magic is it?
Well, Xmithie's ultimates in the last few fights have been really good.
That's true. And that is true.
2 fights ago, he was able to use it, and then his ball went off, and then they didn't focus him afterwards, and he lived through the entire thing. This banner command minion, though, is coming up huge. It's going to be a big siege for CLG.
Yeah, this is huge. Team Liquid would have to engage.
The teleport is going to come in from FeniX. There's too many minions to really get a good soul flare to the back line. It's really just the inner flame.
Darshan are both really low.
Nobody can block that for him. Finally, they get Xmithie down, but the Guardian AD gets him off just a miss on the dredge line. There goes FeniX. Matt is down. CLG looking to put the piercing Piglet. He's going hard. Piglet gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, other side of the wall. The team's not going to fall. No, he's fine. Grievous Wound applied, Grievous Wound off, and CLG stays alive. If Piglet has a chance to stay over that wall, even unpeeled, he can do some big damage. Eyes on him in these fights for sure.
Yeah, Piglet is definitely in hypercarry mode right now, but Darshan wants to kill him.
That's a little ambitious.
Oh, the double TP!
It's 2 of them, the double TP!
He only thought it was 1. He had to have only thought it was 1 TP, and he could exit that with a Caliber net.
It is nearly impossible to tell when 2 people are coming in on the same ward. You get to see the it lights up for like a fraction of a second, and I do not know a person on this earth who can read that live.
I think it is impossible.
No, it does restart. I looked at it really close.
It does restart.
But it's almost impossible to tell. And now CLG, with the kill onto Piglet, may be able to end the game and punch their ticket to the finals.
35 seconds on Piglet. CLG may get the chance to defend that championship with 2 new members. It means a lot to Huhi. It means a lot to Stixxay to get that chance. But it means a whole hell of a lot to the returning members to get back on that final stage. Counter Logic Gaming takes down Team Liquid.
The defending champions get to make the finals and defend their crown. CLG last year was their first time making the finals. and they're showing that wasn't a fluke.
And we knew that Huhi and Stixxay would have to prove themselves as the damage dealers on this team. And Huhi stepped up in such a big way this game on his Ryze. Everyone was saying FeniX was a better laner, but Huhi stuck strong. He came through in team fights. And that double teleport at the end to catch Piglet was genius.
It was so good.
When
Everybody's TP just always seems to be up. Every single time.
2 sets of distortion boots at the end of that one. So not only when they teleported in did they have the home guard bonus, they got even more move speed for 3 seconds afterwards.
in a crushing moment as well, because Piglet puts a lot of pressure on himself, and he knows. And we were taken by surprise in that play, and we have eyes in the sky. So you know that has to put a lot of pressure on him that he was a final kill going into this matchup.
We can see the mini-map.
Yes.
And we didn't know it was both people teleporting.
Exactly. So you
can't